Whoa, 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 whoa. I feel like I got punched in the face. There he is. What's up?
Well, what do you mean?
Got us?
Yeah, why?
You did a little Adam Amin DJ action on us just now and gave us
I think it was the internet because I heard it. It wasn't nothing I did.
No, it was just like a little wicked.
We're not going to spend.
No, I know. Now you sound good. We're not going to spend all show on this, but I do like to point out debuts, good or bad. We did Arise yesterday. That was one of them. We did Scooble as well. Casey Mize, not good. He did have an 11-day layoff. I know that's not an excuse, but Casey Mize, not good. Turned out to be the worst start of his career. And guess what? There are many more starts to go. Are you concerned about Casey Mize after one single start with the San Diego Padres? I guess raise your hand, show of hands, if you're concerned. Okay. Good.
Why would we be concerned?
Because some people freak out after one start. We did this with Freddy Peralta yesterday too, where he made his debut and it didn't go well. And then people are like, damaged goods.
No. Casey Mize had one bad start. New team, quick turnaround.
One of the best pitching coaches in the game.
He'll be fine.
Ruben Niebla. If there's somebody that can help him, Ruben Niebla is the guy.
Also, it takes a minute to get comfortable with your new club, right?
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, if you say Niebla is going to work with him, it wasn't going to be overnight.
No, if it is, then you're cooked. Then I would say, yes, he's going to be a terrible, terrible pickup. If he's like, what do you got for me? First start. What is it? No, we're going to watch. We have ideas. It may work on in the bullpen, but we got you because of the pitcher that you are, not like some magic trick that we're going to pull.
Yeah. Hey, ditch these 3 pitches, add these 2 pitches, and we'll see you tomorrow for your start. Go get them, kid.
And throw harder. And throw the ball harder.
Throw harder. Yeah. Do it like the Mason Miller guy does, the guy who might close out your games. Do his thing. Okay. Question of the day. Your buddy Jesse Rogers, AJ, threw this out there. This is an AJ special right now. The Wrigley Field ivy. He's a fan. He said, I'm sure I'm biased because I've lived here my whole life, but the ivy on the walls at Wrigley is the single greatest quirk of any stadium anywhere, and I don't want to hear about some soccer stadium in Milan or somewhere that has some weird thing. Don't care.
Okay. Well, isn't ivy on the wall a weird thing? So, I mean, I don't care either. Right?
You know, like the quirk?
Well, he just said it's, what did he say? It's the best quirk. What did he say? It was the best quirk. It's the greatest quirk of any stadium. And I don't want to hear about some soccer stadium in Milan or somewhere that has some weird thing. Don't care. Well, isn't what he's saying that Wrigley has the only one with ivy a weird quirk? So, I mean, Jesse, guess what? I don't care.
So wait.
How's that?
Give me a different quirk. Any other quirks? You can't say Tal's Hill.
I mean, Tal's Hill was a quirk, right? I know. The flagpole in the center field of Comerica Park before they changed it, that was a quirk, right? But don't give me something weird when it's the only stadium that has ivy and then say, I don't care about other ones. Well, then why'd you write this tweet, Jesse?
Fenway Park?
Yeah.
Monster?
Every stadium has little quirks in it. I mean, there's almost every stadium except for like the 80s cookie cutter stadiums, Riverfront and all those ones that were all the same, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Philly, the Vet, right? They all were the same. I mean, every stadium now has somewhat of a quirk. Yankee Stadium has short porches. It's a quirk, right? Everyone has something. The Mets have the little quirk with the apple that pops up, right? Jesse, quit showing your fandom. You're supposed to be biased.
AJ loves his Jesse, by the way, in case you're listening and you think he's angry. He's not.
I mean, the White Sox have the pinwheels that spin, right? When they hit home runs. That's a quirk they only have in one stadium. But don't tell them about that because it can only be about Wrigley.
Well, playing field quirk.
Playing field quirk. I would say Rate Field is the least quirky. It's very, very symmetrical.
That's fair. Yeah, it is.
Which I think sometimes can be a cool aesthetic. Like, it doesn't have to be like, how weird can we make this? Toronto put in a new fence, and it was like, oh, we're going to make it jet down, and then it goes at an angle. Like, it doesn't have to be crazy. I think everybody's still trying to duplicate what they did at Camden Yards. That was the one that kind of ushered in, like, the coolness, and I think they did it the best, and I think everybody's trying to catch up.
I love Camden Yards. Okay, let's get to the Mariners and Tigers.
Charging the mound.
Bench is cleared, not much happened, but there were quite a few hit batters. Brian Wu hit 3 Tiger batters last night. Then, 7th inning, Manuel De Jesus hit Cal Raleigh with a 1-2 fastball. Top of the 8th, Gabe Spire hit Gleyber Torres. Spire and Dan Wilson ejected. Gleyber said he asked Raleigh about how he was doing before the at-bat. Quote, when they hit me, I just tried to tell him, De Jesus hit you with 2 strikes. It wasn't on purpose. Torres said, I don't try to fight with nobody. I'm not that type of guy. Also said he was surprised how things escalated, Gleyber, given the team's back and forth with Josh Naylor earlier this year. He said, this is baseball. I don't have any issues. They protected Raleigh, and that's what it is. I'm good. Oh, and the next part of this is going to be fun because Framber Valdez is starting. But anyway, what do you take from all the back and forth here that led to the flexing, AJ?
Listen, this is what you're supposed to do. Raleigh gets hit, they throw and hit Gleyber Torres. They didn't hit him in the head. It wasn't anywhere. It was down. I think he even got hit in the elbow pad. It was down in the waist to chest area. I had no problem with this. I mean, Gleyber handled it correctly. The benches just ran out because everyone likes to get their sprints in for no reason. No punches were thrown. Nothing happened. It was baseball. It was fine. It was one team protecting the other team. They're in a wild card battle. By the way, Wu hit Max Clark, and it was almost a strike. I don't know if y'all saw that, but Max Clark's arm was literally over the plate. So one of those that Wu hit was over the plate almost on Max Clark. But, yeah, I didn't think much of it. I just thought, I just love watching the bullpens have to run in from left field. Why don't the bullpens, instead of running to home plate, especially when they're close like in Seattle, they should just meet right there and fight right there. That way we could have 2 fights going. Then the camera guys would know what to do.
Can't have good fights without greenies. So if you want good fights, you got to have greenies. Dudes are just out of their minds when they're on greenies, and they're willing to fight everybody. But the key part of that tweet was right in the middle of it. Emmanuel De Jesus hit him with a 1-2 pitch. It's okay that you try to go inside 1-2. It's also okay that the other team retaliates when you hit their best player. I get it. They didn't hit Dominic Canzone, but Cal Raleigh is that team leader, whether he's in 160 or he's hitting 60 homers. Like it wasn't on purpose, but they said we're not going to have any more of that, and they hit Gleyber. I think Gabe Spire handled it well. I think Gleyber handled it well.
Hey, remember how Wilson Contreras had all his stuff going on in a short period of time, and then soon after that, the Red Sox took off? I'm not saying that a little bit of juice leads to a ton of wins, but the Mariners need to wake up a little bit, AJ. They won.
Yeah, they're not playing very well. I mean, Brian Wu at home is like a sure thing. So
right.
And now on the road, it's a sure thing the other way. So don't judge that. But yeah, the Mariners need to play better. That's about it. They can fight all they want, but the difference is the Red Sox got hot as fire after all the stuff with Wilson Contreras. And it wasn't just Wilson Contreras. It was a lot of the other guys, Cedar Rafaela, and a lot of the other guys in the lineup, Caleb Durbin, Monasterio, all these other guys got hot. Willie Abreu has 20 homers now, so their pitching staff has been really good. But the Mariners, you see it right there. They're 2.5 back of the Astros, and unless something changes quick, I don't know if they're going to make the postseason. But what's funny is the Rangers actually are in the postseason right now at 57 and 58, which is also amazing.
Under 500, not great. Can we show the wild card standings too? While we're
watching this. Like, the standings right now do not matter. The standings do not matter right now because it can change. But it's not changing in oh, man, this team just got hot. Like, the Red Sox have totally distanced themselves. They won another 7 straight. whatever they are, like 25-2 in their last 27 games. I'm not watching right now. The Orioles are ahead of the Mariners. The Rangers are in the playoffs today, unless there's some kind of coin flip scenario, since we'll never have game 163. But it doesn't matter right now. I do not care. Look at the last 10. The last 10 of the 4 teams that are on the fringe of the wild card. I'm sorry. 5 teams, including the Minnesota. 6 teams, including the Tigers. Doesn't matter. 5-5, 6-4. Ooh, the Orioles are hot. 3-7, the Guardians. 4-6, the Rangers. They're all under 500. I don't care about the standings right now. I haven't looked at the standings in 3 weeks in the American League because it does not matter right now.
Well, somebody's going to get that third wild card, and there's so many teams involved. But it'll take a while. I get what you're saying. It doesn't matter right now. And I don't want to say none of them care. A couple of them went for it, and a couple of them didn't. The weird thing about the buy-sell at the trade deadline is that some of the teams that sell are the same record-wise as some of the teams that buy. I mean, the Mariners are an example. They did a light buy, AJ, but the Tigers, the team they're facing and the team that they're neck and neck with in the standings, sold away 2 of their best starting pitchers.
Yeah, the Rangers didn't do anything. They sold Josh Smith, right? They didn't do anything, and people said, "Why didn't they do anything?" So, and they're in the postseason right now. It's a crazy year in the American League. I mean, we can look at the Pirates. We said this on trade deadline day. The Pirates are under 500. They had the same record as the Rangers, and the Pirates were like, "We want to buy, we want to buy, we want to buy." Where the Rangers like, "Why are we buying? We're 500. We're right at 500. What's the point?" So, it's a crazy year in the American League. Everyone is mediocre dog, whatever. They're all mediocre dog bleep. I mean, it's like everyone except for the Rays right now, who are Rays, Yankees, and the Red Sox are kind of the 3 that have separated themselves from this 500 mess that is the American League.
Do you want to look at the standings every night to see if the Rangers, who had Jacob deGrom, said, "Yeah, I'll go to Atlanta," would be off the team? Like, just so what if they're a half a game up on somebody? Like, I don't think unless a team starts showing something where it's like, yeah, we're going to take this. We're going to take this division. We're going to take this third wild card spot by the way they play on the field. I'm like, whatever. I definitely want to watch the games. I just am not like, ooh, a half a game up. Oh, a game out. Neato, gang.
Which team do you like the best of those?
Seattle.
I mean, it's still the Mariners for me right now.
I mean, how do the Orioles make a run at it they just got rid of Taylor Ward, who had the best on-base percentage. They got rid of their starting catcher. I get it. He was hurt. Adley Rutschman, like he was their all-star. How do the let's see, who else? Tigers, I don't even stop. Like if they do it, it'll be so cool because it'll be Max Clark and McGonigal and whoever else they figure out to pitch. Nobody, right? So
Melton,
and I don't think the Rangers have the pizzazz to do it. I don't think they have DeGrom's like, nah, I don't want to go. So he could help him. Evaldi could help him, but I don't know. I guess I'm kind of indifferent on them. I think the Mariners have the most want to in them, just based on watching these teams from afar.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But yeah, they're all close enough right now.
Mariners also have the best team on paper. I mean, it also matters it should matter at some point. The Mariners have the best team on paper.
How long can we say that? How long have we said that? We've said that for so long, and they made additions. And now, is it August now? So Julio's going to step up? Is it, is Naylor going to be the guy that they wanted? I mean, you're going to see progression. No way Cal's going to continue to do what he's done. So he's going to get better. He'll probably hit 200 this year. And for him to get to 200, that would be just an epic August and September. So, yeah, I agree with you. But, man, it's just you would think they would have taken a stranglehold on this division, and they haven't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for Naylor, I mean, he's been consistently above average, all-star-ish level with his bat for years. You could make some knocks on the defense there, but I mean, last year 137 OPS plus, year before 124, 128, 118, 130, 121, all the way back to 2022. This year he's at 96. Is he terrible? No. Is he anywhere near what he was the last 5 years? No, not right now.
Yeah, but also Cal Raleigh. I mean, you could throw Cal Raleigh in there too. And Julio's not having a great year. There's really nobody on this team. J.P. Crawford's fallen off a cliff. Let's not forget about him. There's a lot. Dominic Canzone's the one guy that's doing well. Him and Cole Young are the two guys that are really doing it for him right now. So, but the other guys it's all been struggle from all their veteran guys. Most of their veteran guys they were counting on. Randy's been fine, right? But Julio, Naylor, Raleigh, J.P. Crawford, they've all. I mean, even Emerson, who they want to say is this, great guy. He's actually. I mean, when I did their game a week ago, he was hitting under 200. So it's not like he was on fire either. So. I mean, they're built on pitching, but at some point you got to score some sort of runs.
Yeah, and Kratz, their big offseason acquisition, who I like a lot, doesn't even have 100 ABs this year in Brendan Donovan.
Which, hey, you know what? That's huge. He comes back. That would be huge for them. But it's gotta get going. Because, I mean, now you're talking about trying to make a wild card. That division's still within range, but trying to make a wild card is tough, especially when you have that many teams all muddled around mediocrity.
Mm-hmm. All right, so add it all up, and they got into it a little bit, but not too much. We're going to work on getting Ozzie Guillén a cell phone, so hopefully we'll do that in the next few minutes, and then we'll talk to him about the White Sox and also his number retirement coming up this weekend. For parents looking for a new path to help your child succeed this year, there's still time to enroll in K-12-powered online schools. K-12-powered schools offer tuition-free accredited online public education for students in kindergarten through 12th grade. Todd, Father, take it away.
Hey, if you're a busy family, K-12 is where it's at. I've had a couple of my children who've been homeschooled. K-12 has every opportunity to make your child better and smarter as they move forward in their academic career.
K-12's dedicated teachers are trained in virtual instruction, and they provide real-time support, all in an online setting that works for your family at home or anywhere that there's internet. If you're on the go, it could be for you. It's not too late to enroll this fall. See how K-12-powered schools can help your child thrive this year and beyond. Enroll online today at k12.com/foul. That's the letter K, the number 12.com/FOUL. K12.com/foul. K-12, serving 3 million students and counting. Hey, do you know the team with the second best record in baseball right now?
Brewers.
One at a time.
Brewers have the best, so it's not the Brewers.
Yeah.
It's either the Dodgers or the Rays.
No, it's a team that's won 7 in a row.
Red Sox?
Braves.
Oh, yeah. You kind of forget about them. You kind of forget about them, don't you?
Yeah. And there's so much sarcasm because everybody trashed their deadline. And they're like, see, their deadline slapped. They've won 7 in a row.
No,
they're playing ball. No, it's not a good correlation, but good for them. They're playing ball right now. I really like the Braves. They need a couple of the young guys to eventually be a thing too. I mean, you would think, right? Like,
who are the young guys?
Smith Shawver. I mean, he's still young. No, if he comes back and can do some things for them, will they have a Reynaldo Lopez in October that can pitch well? Will they have a healthy Robert Suarez that can pitch well? Like, there are arms there. They're just, I mean, this started in April or even before that, March with the injuries, right? Schwellenbach and a couple others went down really fast, and it started to spin, but record-wise, they're looking good.
They probably got off with the least amount of heat about not making a push at Skubal. I think
that's fair.
I think a team like that with Sale and Skubal, but we didn't give them much heat. They would have traded Schwellenbach for Skubal straight up. Oof.
Let's talk White Sox. Legendary White Sox manager Ozzie Guillen joining us right now. Huge weekend with the number retirement ceremony coming up. Ozzie, great to see you. It's been a minute. We haven't caught up with you in a while. How have you been, and how much happy are you this year when you're doing broadcasting and just watching the team that you love so much play much better ball?
Well, thank you for having me, man. About time. Thank you, AJ. It's up here from me. But
haven't I seen you enough? Don't I see you enough?
Yeah,
God, for God's sake.
And not the way we used to see each other. Anyway,
well, thank God you have clothes on.
I think this ball club, I think is you know me, if you talk about talent, they don't have the type of talent like, wow, look at this team, they're gonna do this or do that. But the way they play the game, it's very, very fun to watch. Like they just lose 2 days in a row with Boston. You feel like they lose like 20 games in a row like they was in the past. But this ball club is just is doing with the talent is not there, but it's a bunch of kids. I think they do it together. They play very good baseball from the beginning. They do a lot of little things over there. I think the bullpens have been great. I think at Castillo and another Dominican keep on Bonacer, I think this ball club is going to be a lot of better. And yeah, man, I think it's fun to watch. I think they play pretty good overall.
Is that a Guardians hat you have on? What the hell is that hat you're wearing?
That's my bullfight, bro. It's my bullfight Guardian. Look at this, my bullfight hat. The G on the G is a G. Hey, Guardians. Oh gosh, that's next. That's Friday. They're gonna face those teams.
Yeah.
Obviously, I remember that. You know,
are you gonna do that on Sunday, on Saturday? Are you gonna do that?
No. Do you know what's funny about that? People think, or people was saying, I was did it to the fans when I did that, and I was really because the mascot slider was right on the top of my head, screaming to me and doing to me, and then I want to change the picture, screaming back to me again. Then I did it for her, like, oh, you choke to the mascot. Some people thought I was unrespect the fans. You know me, but in the end of the days, I did it to the fans. They earned it. They deserve that. Yeah, they choke. That team choke. And the end of the day, but they unrespectful. First of all, I grew up in the old school baseball. I don't unrespect the fans. If I unrespect the fan, I will throw right at him. Yes, I did for you guys. Yes. I said a couple of days ago, Cleveland. Everybody going to play Cleveland. The reason they win because people get depressed going to that place. And back in the days when I was playing, that play was awesome. You know what I mean? I think they had like 8 sold out in the row. You know what I mean? It was awesome. Great players nowadays. You know what I mean? Just everything right. But I was a little upset when the people made the mistake to say I was unrespectful. I respect the fans.
You don't. It's okay. You don't. It's okay. Your little guy right here, he told me, he said, I don't respect the fans. It's okay. It's okay.
I make it fun of I can make it fun on the team. Yes, I will. I don't care. But to the fans, the Northern and all those guys is there. But they were. The people say I was telling the fans they choke. The team choke, not the fans.
All right. Let's talk about this year's team. We're gonna have plenty of time to reminisce this weekend. When I have to see you for 3 days in a row, which is like 2 days too many for both of us to be around each other. So the team this year, they get Castillo, they get Doyle, they get Joey Bart. Do you wish they would have done more, or is this enough to win the division and make a run in the postseason for the White Sox?
I don't know. They're going to make the run for the postseason. I think they will make the division because I think those two guys, especially Braun and the bullpen, will help them. I don't know about the center fielder. I don't know about him. He have a good season. He have been a little while. He's not playing well. Bart's also behind the plays. I don't see they will help that much to Teals coming up. But I think I'm pretty confident that the arms they got. And they went out with a lot of, with a little bit of careful. They don't want to destroy the minor league system. They don't want to do damage to them because, and I agree with that. I agree with that. They cannot go there and say, okay, it's a fan. I want to get rid of the minor league and bring all those guys that can help this year. But when you're thinking with your heart and you're not thinking with your brains, they can you in trouble later. I think it cost the White Sox a couple of years building this minor league together Now they have few guys down there, and I think couple guys maybe is already Smith is ready to come up here and help the bullpen. But I think they did I'm not going to say they did a great job in the trade deadline, but also they did a pretty good job because they keep the big prospect with the organization.
Was there a move that you hoped that they had made at the trade deadline?
Yes. Well, you know what's funny? A lot of people talk about catchers. Oh, we need a catcher. We need a catcher. Obviously, the two people we have, Carroll, have a very bad season. But in the end of the day, Australia fielders, so the All-Star break is been very bad. You know what I mean? I say we need I say in the air, people look up to a catching situation, but they look at the center field situation. Oh, it's very struggle. Still a struggle to right now. And they went out and give the center fielder, not because I say it, I think they know exactly what I see. Hopefully that kid is a gold glove. It's going to be better. They're going to platoon to each other out there. But it says, right now, Mooney's a little struggle there. Well, they don't struggle. Be honest with you, they're facing a great pitching staff in Tampa and Boston, and they hit Boston in the wrong time. Boston plays so good, everything go well for them. They're playing great baseball. They hit well, they pitch well. I think that was the reason to it. But I think what they did, I think it was good enough. But a lot of people talk about Tio. When Tio played, Tio wasn't a great season either. It wasn't. The catching is really a problem. But when you have a catcher can hit, your team going to be in the playoff for sure. But when you have a catcher can catch, all of a sudden, it's not that many catches out there. They're like, wow, look, you can put him 6, 7, 4 feet. There's not that many guys out there can hit behind the plate. That's why I don't worry about catcher. Catcher had to worry about calling the game. The pitching starts very well. Right now, Davis struggled a lot. Very, very, like I say, he was tipping his pitches, but when you say, I think I was tipping my pitcher, but your velocity is 92, 93 around the plate. Nowadays, you're going to get hunt because those guys know what it means 92, 93 around the plate.
Of this team, you said before when you were on here, you said there's a certain kind of player that I like. I don't care what anybody else says. There's a certain type of player that I like. Who on this team currently do you like? And you would say, okay, that's the kind of guy that I want to see every day in my lineup and maybe isn't playing as much.
Well, I like Madrov. This kid is go there. He doesn't have wow, but you see this kid play every day, do we love it? Atanashi is playing the game well. Atanashi is, I don't know, he's the type of kid with not exceptional talent, but everything he does is to a winning game. You know what I mean? That's guy I really love. Montgomery, the shortstop, I wish he had better at bats. He got a lot of home runs, but he's wasting a lot of at bats, especially with people on base. But I think the key of this ball club has been the third baseman, Vargas. Vargas has been the glue in this ball club, and I like the way Vargas playing the game right now.
Ozzie, you mentioned Antonacci. Did you see him throw a little elbow towards Contreras last night when he went to first, and then he slid into home and he ate the catcher's chest protector? I mean, is that? I mean, I was like, man, that looks like a little bit like a Ozzie Guillen move or a Pierzynski move.
Oh, okay. By the way, last night I was not upset. You're looking for trouble with no reason. At least they had something in the past or something happened before. But in that particular play, you're playing with fire, man. You play with, that's why this kid, everybody, Contreras kids say, he's a bad guy. Every time we see him, he's arguing with the umpire, arguing with the pitchers, do a stupid thing on the field. But this kid's a pretty cool kid. I know him a little bit, and he's a cool kid. But what he did yesterday was unnecessary. And I think the pitchers, I think it was Ryan was strong. Ryan hit him. I think I applaud that because I don't think what he did was necessary to start the game the way he did.
Hey, Ozzie, one more thing on the players right now. You mentioned Colson Montgomery and Vargas and Murakami have all the home runs, but there was an all-star out there in Peters. Since the all-star game, he is like falling off a cliff. Which one is the real Tristan Peters? The one who made the all-star team was hitting 300, or the guy who's down to like 270 now?
The guy in 270. You know, I just we got to be honest. I love the way they keep playing hard. He play hard, tremendous defense, do a lot of things. I don't think why no bunt anymore. He was very good. He was bunting the ball a lot. Got a couple hits, bunting the ball, moved the guys over with bunt. He forgot to bunt yesterday. Yesterday, bunt almost made it, but he forgot how to. You know, I think they tell him, "We want you to hit home runs. When you got to hit home run, you got to." What he had, like I think, had 5 home runs. Played great defense. But hey, I think we've seen what he is. You know what I mean? Just in the beginning of the season, the average was very high. Got a big hit for the White Sox. But I think right now, maybe he's a little tired. But I think right now he's not swinging the ball well at all. You know what I mean? It's just I think he got a couple hits 2 days ago, but he's been struggling a lot.
What about Will Venable? I mean, that's the position they used to hold. Is he doing good? Should he show more? Should he show more fire? Because he seems like he's always the same guy every day.
Love it. Everybody had different way to get to his player. I think this guy is not lying to the media. He say what he had to say is very true, very honest. I think it fits well for this ball club because I see like all those guys fit together with him. I think get along with the players very well. I think I had the opportunity to be down in the clubhouse, in the dugout, but for batting practice. Those guys, I think, seem like they love him, they respect him, and we always the same guy day in and day out. Every day is the same guy, no matter you win or lost. He's the same guy. Get good coach. No lie behind the scene. Don't try making an excuse. I say, be honest with you, from that man, from Will to Pedro, it's like 3,000% different. Or the type of manager, type of communicator, great with the people. Here in Chicago, in the South Side, Chicago White Sox, I think they give him a lot of respect, including myself. I'm very hard with the managers, a lot, because in my mind, I think people should be managers like me. I'm wrong about it. Everybody have managed their way. But I think Will doing a tremendous job. He should be manager of the year. If the White Sox could go to the end with him. I think the kid from the Boston, but I think Will Venable doing a tremendous job with this ball club last 2 years of being here.
Can we officially take your name out of the White Sox managerial race then, since you just said Will Venable should be manager of the year?
Well, now they got the kids from Boston. Wow. What he's doing is just amazing. But I think Will Venable, people forgot because they are first place. They forgot they lost 120-something game last year. And the year before 103, then the year before 100 plus, you know what I mean? And nobody thought the White Sox were going to be in this situation. They're going to be a buyer in the trade deadline. Nobody, when you break the camp with this ball club, say, hey, well, hopefully we play better. Hopefully we play, 500 ball. Hopefully everybody stay healthy, you know what I mean? And doing what they're doing now is just very, very, very nice to see them compete the way they are.
Okay, you didn't answer the question, though, so that's fine. That's what you do. It's what you do. I'm used to it, Ozzie.
No, wait a minute. Hey, I just saying that Will Venable should be manager of the year. Yes, of course. Of course you have to.
No. I asked you if that takes you out of wanting to be the White Sox manager.
Oh, no way. No, that's out. I'm out. You know what I mean? Like, I rather, hey, you know what? I'm getting paid to talk bad about them. That's enough for me. You know what I mean? Just like, no, I don't want to be part of that. I want to stay around with my grandkids. Stay in Chicago, no travel, know how to talk to media every day about anything. Right now, I had a great life. I think maybe the best life I have in my life right now with my grandkids, and not have to worry about go to the ballpark and get dressed and go to the hotel, drive, go in the airplane, who got hurt. I'm out of that. I'm done. I'm really not looking for being manager anymore.
Oh, finally we got rid of you. It only took 10 years, but now we're done with you. Hey, let's talk about this weekend. Let's talk about this weekend. What are you expecting this weekend? I know there's a ton of – I don't know who all's coming. I've heard somewhat of a list of who's coming, and it's basically all the White Sox legends that are alive and kicking. So what are you expecting this weekend, and what's your emotions going to be like this weekend?
That's the question everybody asks, emotion. A lot of people, I cry for everything. But yesterday, I have a show with Chuck and CHSN, and I put myself in like, okay, let me see how I want to cry now. You was on the show, and a lot of people I noticed was on the show. I said, I contain my emotion. I said, oh, that'd be nice. But what I expect, I think it's going to be a packed house. I like that. They already told me they sold out. That's one thing I like. I just want to see, just like I always say, number retired is pretty nice. I know a lot of people looking for these days, fans, it's teammates. Who's going to be there? I have no idea. I know you're going to come here because first of all, you got to work that day. Then I know for a fact you have to be here. But I think it's just exciting, man. But especially for my family, my kids, my wife, my grandkids, and it's so many people. I had to think to make that happen. Be retired when they retire your number, and you're not a Hall of Famer, and you're not the 400 club, 500 home runs club. 3,000 hits. I ain't even close to be part of that. And when they do, obviously winning the World Series, or you guys winning the World Series for us, is a big cost. That's a big help. But in the end of the day, you're just like they're gonna put me next to guys, the real legends of the White Sox over 100 and something years. To me, it's a privilege, very humble privilege to be part of that ceremony tomorrow, Saturday.
You know how many managers' numbers are retired in all of Major League Baseball?
Oh, no, not really. Let me see. Dick Hauser, maybe?
20.
And the guy from Casas, I think his number is retired. You know what? I think maybe Tony La Russa number is retired in what's his name? In San Luis, I think. I believe so. But I don't have anybody. I don't have any number. You can tell me, then I'm going to look like I find out today and Google it. Well, how many?
It's 20 of them. 20 of them. So you'll be the 21st number retired.
Wow.
Do you think you have been given that because of the World Series or because of how you made the city feel winning the World Series?
I think winning the World Series helped a lot. Yes. But people forgot, nowadays, I lead to 2-3 stage in my career here. And the people, a lot of people they forgot how many years I played for the White Sox. And now people say, win the World Series, it's not that many people see me managing the ball club. And now a lot of people know me as an analyst of the ball club. But I went to 3 stage, very nice with them. But I think winning the World Series is a lot. I think it's that make so many years without winning. It's just I get along with the media very well. I thank God, fans. We have a lot of respect, a lot of love for each other, and that help also. But I think right now, in the end of the day, that's Jerry's decision. Just Jerry's decision to say yes or no, and he did it. And thank God we both alive. Something I was looking for. Make sure I was the way for me to pass away to do it. Is I earn it? I play hard enough to earn it. I'm a manager. I put everything I have in my life, my soul. Every time I wear that, I put that uniform. But I had to be pretty pleased and thank you. And also, thank you to the 2005 baseball team, because that's one of the biggest reasons I'm going to be up there.
Ozzie, let me say this. You'll never say it, but listen, it's about time. I told you this. I've told you your family this. I know your kids very well. I know your wife very well. I know your grandkids very well. It's about time. And I've been clamoring, banging this drum for a few years now. To Jerry,
you got in trouble for that.
Oh, I got deep shit for that, but it's fine. It was worth it because you know what?
After the 2005 ceremonies, when you guys over here, Jerry called me and talked to me about, you see your teammates, what they do to me, embarrassing me. Hey man, you don't want to hear? I said, hey man, you don't want to hear them. Do it and get away with. And it's like he wasn't sad. He just upset. He was like, you was the only one. Few people did it, and they were in the media. A couple guys went to the media that they say when Ozzie's normally going to retire, and he take a lot of heat from that.
Yeah, well, you're welcome, and I'm proud. And I meant it when I said that. So here's my last question for you.
I know that.
Before you have to go, here's my last question for you. I have to speak, and I'm honored that your family asked me to speak on Saturday to help introduce you. Is there anything you want me to say? Is there any story you want me to tell?
They told the truth. You know
Well,
what
then I can't tell the truth because we'll all be in trouble if I really tell the truth. So we know we can't really tell the truth.
You know what's funny is when I said it yesterday on the show I have yesterday with Chuck. I say, watch what AJ got me. Say why? I said when you play against AJ Pierzynski, you hate him. When you play with him, you hate a little less. And Chuck said, yeah, I hear that. I said, okay, you know what? AJ told me when you play against Ozzie, you hate him, but when you play for him, you hate him more.
Exactly.
Cool.
Exactly.
You said
that. I wanted to. So okay. I'm glad we're having this conversation. We're having this conversation because I had to write my speech and I'm still working on it. And I told that line to my wife, and my wife Lisa. She goes, "You can't say that; he'll get mad." And I'm like, "No, actually, I said that to him, and he loved that line." And I'm like, "I have to throw that in there somewhere." So thank you. Now I can show her this clip and say, Ozzie said it was fine.
Anyway, last night I was talking about that with Chuck, and they have a little show for like our show. They recorded. You will see it because they record that. And I said the best quote I ever hear is, watch, AJ Pierzynski told me, when you play against AJ, but he said, when you play for Ozzie, against Ozzie, you hate him. But when you play with him, you hate it even more. I think that's a great, funny. I love it. I really love it. I think that's going to make everybody laugh, including my family.
Well, your family knows you. They have to deal with you every day.
I tell you what, that would be the coach of the ceremony, guarantee.
Well, we'll see.
Wow.
We'll see if I can fit it in. I'm so sophisticated, Ozzie, with my speaking quality. It's going to be hard to fit, especially since they only gave me 2 minutes, right? Because they said 2 minutes, I said, well, shit, that's because Ozzie will talk for 40. So they can only give the rest of us 2 minutes.
No, I don't. I got 5 minutes. I got to say thank you to a few people. I got to move on because I want to. You know what? Funny thing, I want to get out of here. The mic. Believe me, listen, I've been in the mic for the last 5, 6, 7 years, international, local, national. I've been talking with people. I'm managing pack house. I play in the pack house. So many things I did in baseball. I never get close to getting nervous. I'm going to get nervous Saturday. I don't know why. I just know myself. I go, I'm going to be, the people in the ballpark, they've been listening to me for the last, 5, 7, 6, 7 years. I've been on TV for them. But it's a little bit different when you got to talk about yourself, the people they help you to get what you're going to do, the reason why they retired. No, but there's so many things out there. You got to think about it. And by the way, I got to be making sure because I want to speak very slowly. And people make sure I understand what I say. Most of the people, they don't go to understand what I say. That's fine. But, I'm looking for that day, man. I'm looking for that day. A lot of people, my family is working very hard because it's not easy thing to do. Who's coming, who's not coming, who you want, what you're going to play with. So many things off the scene. Nobody see it. I can't wait for those 4 or 5 minute talk to be on it.
Yeah, we're excited. AJ, you better use that quote. I like that quote. That's a good one.
I know. Yeah, I got to work it in. When I fly this afternoon, I got to write it all down.
I said it. I said it yesterday in the show. I said, this is the best quote they got anybody say about me. Like, very honest, very right at him. Right, it's right. You shoot right through my head. Like, boom. I love it so much. I still remember very clear what you say. It's funny.
Hey, have they shown our golf thing yet? Have they shown our golf thing yet?
I think they're doing it tomorrow. I don't know. I think tomorrow Friday. Maybe I think they're going to do it tomorrow. I don't know yet.
Okay, good. And by the way, I think you're joining us on Saturday in the booth.
By the way,
for an inning.
I think they told me about it. I say you guys no requests yet, but I said they will because it's a good friend of mine. Obviously it'd be an honor to be with you guys. And remember, I know you have a lot of golf outing with the good ones, the big plays. I can play golf a little bit now. You never see me hit the ball now. You're like, what embarrassing me is I take it somewhere.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so you can't cuss when you come on Fox on Saturday, okay? When we have you on, no cussing. Talk very slowly.
By the way, you're on TV for a couple hours. I'm on TV every day. Curse. I never curse on TV. I curse when I have a uniform on. Yes, I did a lot. When I have my uniform on, oh my God, every other word is cursing. Now when I have my suit or my sport coat on, I'm very, very professional.
Yeah, different mode. He's got 2 modes. He's very versatile.
Yes,
Ozzie,
indeed.
this was great. We loved it. We're excited for the weekend. Thank you so much for taking some time. Great to catch up with you.
Hey guys, thank you for the opportunity. Anytime you guys want me, just tell AJ whatever, we can talk whatever you guys want. I really like to be on you guys' show.
We love having you. Thanks, Ozzie. Talk to you soon.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
Thank you, AJ. See you tomorrow, AJ.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We'll see him soon. AJ will be out there in Chicago. Southside's going to be crazy. Also, yes, the team is still very, very much in the thick of things here. And we're in August. Sox Machine is covering it every single day. It's the new White Sox show that's part of the FT Network. Subscribe wherever you can. Podcast platforms, YouTube, the whole deal. And then also you can see, yes.
Oh, no, I'm saying, sorry, the game this on Saturday and Tuesday are complete sellouts. Saturday is Ozzie Day, and Tuesday is they're giving away Pope hats. So they have 2 big this week, 2 huge games for the White Sox.
Well, there you go. So you can start your Fox One 3-day free trial today at fox1.com if you're not at the game. The way to watch the game is on Fox and the Fox One app. So you can follow the Fox Saturday action and eventually the postseason leading up to the World Series exclusively on Fox and streaming on the Fox One app. Here we are. Oh, we're going to get right to our next guest coming up in a moment. I'm told any moment now, and we'll talk St. Louis Cardinals. So we'll go right from guest to guest here as we went overtime. Shocker with AJ and Ozzie. 5 minutes for him on a speech is going to be awesome.
Oh, impossible. It's going to be impossible. Impossible.
I'll take the over. I'll take the over.
You know what? I'm going to need the
Set
over.
the line.
Oh, 8.5.
I was going to say 7.5.
You know what? I need the extra time, though, Scott, because I'm going to have to run up after I speak and then I introduce the next person who speaks after me. Then I have to run up and get ready for the open. And we all know how important the open is.
Oh, so important. I remember that one open that you guys had that one time. It was immaculate. It was amazing. So everybody at Fox, continue to have those opens. They are breathtaking to me. Breathtaking. It really sets the tone for the game.
By the way, you'll love this. I know we have I think Jim's coming next, but he can wait. The cat can wait for me. Last week when I had the Yankees and the Cubs, our open was going to be PCA and Ben Rice. Well, the one day Booney gives Ben Rice off is Saturday. And I'm like, so we're in this office. He's like, well, and the lineups hadn't come out yet. And so everyone's like, when's the lineup? Because it was supposed to maybe rain delayed. We ended up starting on time, but they were like, oh, it's going to rain. We're going to be delayed. So they're waiting on the lineups. And Booney's like, yeah, it just casually drops. Yeah, Ben Rice is going to take today off. And I'm like, wait, what? And he's like, what do you mean? And he's like, he's tired. He's been playing every game. And I said, yeah, but he was our open. Boone used to work for TV. You know how important the open is. And he's like, did I just ruin the open? And I'm like, yes, you did. Now we have to totally come up with something different.
Yep. I've been there many times. The open's very important for producers and the production staff. The broadcasters have fun with it. That's what you see in the booth right before we get to the game action, like the block before, the segment before you get to game action. And then after that's lineups and all that. Okay, let's get to our next guest. Cardinal Territory host, regional cable superstar, Jim Hayes joining us right now to talk Cardinals. Good to see you, my friend, and great episode
I'm not
the other
upside down
day.
this time. I'm not
you look
down
great.
This time.
Well,
Okay,
I mean,
good.
literally you're not. Figuratively, we could say whatever, right? But literally you are right side up, and the Cardinals are what after the trade deadline? Fill in the blank.
Doing their thing, which is what we expected. Hein Bloom said that when he took over. He said, look, our goal is to be chasing World Series year after year as opposed to going all in and working for the short term. So what they did was they got rid of guys that won't be with the team next year anyway. They rented them in some cases, like they did to the Brewers, for guys that could help that long-term goal. So they're stockpiling a bunch of talent that's controllable for years to come. And not every prospect, I mean, they're loaded up with prospects now. Not everyone's going to hit. But the best way to beat the odds is with volume. And they have stockpiled a ton of minor league talent that they hope will pay dividends down the road. And looking around at what the pundits like AJ and people of national stature say, Cardinals made out pretty well. So the question is now, what's going to be for the rest of the season? They're going to get a look at some of their pitchers, make decisions on certain guys, and now they'll have runway. But there's no question this is a team built for the future.
Does it mean that they're going to punt for the rest of the season? What do we expect to see from the Cardinals for the rest of the season? Pitchers that don't strike a lot of guys out, hitters that had a really hot start. Who is going to be the one that's going to carry the rest of this team or the guys into next season?
Well, the starting rotation has actually been pretty good. They've been healthy. They've spaced out their guys. A lot of young guys that haven't been a major league starter for the entire season, but they've spaced them out, and everyone seems pretty fresh. And you look at some of the guys' outings recently, it looks like they're not worn down at all. So that's good, and I think that's the building block. A lot of the guys that we're hitting are not hitting right now, but that happens. You go through some good offensive spurts and some bad ones. I think the bottom of the batting order is kind of what weighs them down. There was a stretch where all those guys were contributing, and that made the lineup even more dangerous. But they have a lot of guys who can go on hot streaks, and hopefully, look, they're not out of anything yet. It's going to be really yeoman's work to get back into a good place in the playoff picture, but they have the talent. And I'll tell you this about this ball club. They don't get down when they lose. I've never seen this before. You can usually get a vibe that the team has exhaled and maybe they realize it's over. That's not the case with this ball club. A lot of young guys who just want to show what they can do. So I wouldn't count them out yet, but I understand it is a long shot for them to get back in a good position. Again, pitching's been good. Hitting has been hit or miss. The bullpen needs a little help because they've lost a lot of games with guys in the bullpen, and I don't know what's going to change that.
Jim, you mentioned the trade deadline, and you say, "Oh, they got rid of," but they still had some pieces that could have been traded. Whether it's a Herrera, a Burleson, they had some pieces that were available. I would think to be traded that aren't going to, I don't think, be around. The next 3-4 years. Were you satisfied that really? Nootbaar, Dustin, and JoJo Romero were the only ones that were traded, or should Chaim Bloom been able to do more? Maybe.
Look, I think he's done a really good job of stockpiling talent. The only surprise for me was that they didn't deal a catcher because they have a backlog of talented young catching. I thought one of those guys might be involved in a trade. Didn't happen. So what do? You hold them. You let guys try to get better in the minor leagues and then see what they have next year. I think it'd be a bad complaint. I think it'd be a meritless complaint to say they could have done more because we need more, top 15, top 30 prospects. They have loaded up, and now we'll see which ones make it. That's when I think the question marks can come in if guys don't pan out. But I think everyone kind of knew what Chaim was going to do. Maybe they thought there would be an extra move or two. It's ironic that John Mozeliak's doing the same thing now with the Angels. But yeah, overall, I would say he gets good grades for what they got in return for what they gave up. I think that's fair.
Based on the young guys that are on this team, are you surprised there's no more extension talks than the little bit that they've had so far?
I don't. Yeah, one of the guys I would have liked to have them lock up early, and it's just me. It's not my money. Mason Wynn, because I think if you're rebuilding, you could start with JJ, who got the bag already, and Mason went up the middle. That's a pretty good place to start. Now, Mason's under team control for another few years. He'll be arbitration eligible. But yeah, it's not my money, and I don't know, based on what's going to go on with the labor situation, who you want to spend that money on right now. Mason has had sort of a down year offensively, though he's coming out of it now. I'm a big believer in what he can be at the plate. We've already seen defensively that he's elite level defense. That's one guy I'd look at. I'm not surprised they didn't trade Burley. They still have a couple of years of control for him, and he's getting better and better. And then what happened with Burley? Ollie told him, "You're not being traded," and he goes out and he hits 3 home runs at Yankee Stadium. Pretty good. I'm a big Burley guy. Not just physically, but I believe in Alec Burleson.
I bet you do there, Jim. I bet you do. Who else do they have How worried are they about their pitching? I know you kind of mentioned their pitching is in a good spot, but a lot of these guys are younger guys. They're getting to limits in their pitching. I mean, they're Liberatore and Palante, who pitched really well last night. But are they worried about the last month of this season? Are they going to have depth issues going forward? I know they're still technically alive for the wild card.
So they got Dobbins plugged in, right, because they got rid of May. They sent Quinn Matthews down, who had one start, and they sent him back. And he pitched pretty well. I think it was 4 or 5 innings, a lot of strikeouts. He's still working on his control because he walks a lot of guys. But then they have other guys down there. They got Mott's, they got Tanner Frank. They have other prospects down there who seem to be major league starting rotation type guys. I'm not saying they're 1s or 2s. Who knows what they're going to be? But I think they have more depth of guys that can step in. And look, we're most of the way through the season. I don't think you have to worry about Palante. They've spaced out McGreevy, and he seems to answer the bell every time he gets the call. Leahy is a guy who, when he was in the bullpen, wanted the ball every day. Now, granted, it's different than being a starter, but he always had a rubber arm. And he says he feels great physically. This is as good as he's felt as a professional athlete. And he's gotten better and better. So, yes, there are questions. But right now, it doesn't look like this is the area of need for the Cardinals because the starting rotation has been pretty solid. And for like the second year in a row, they haven't had a major injury in the starting rotation, which is odd because in baseball, everyone loses pieces of that starting rotation.
We hear all the time from the Brewers about Dustin May is going to be so nasty. Do you feel like the Brewers got more value in the trade from JoJo Romero or from Dustin May?
I think May, because, look, the Brewers have had injury. They've had good starting pitching, but they've always dealt with injuries. And when May is on, and, it's a question, is he on or not? They always talk about with him when he's in rhythm, right? When his mechanics are good, he's nasty. And talking to Dusty Blake, the pitching coach, they know when he's in a good spot. And when he's in a good spot, he goes out there and pitches like a veteran pitcher who's pitched at, the major league level for a long time, battled through a bunch of injuries, but he's healthy now. And I think he will help them for this year because he's a rental. And JoJo, look, he just had his appendix out. Last I talked to him, he was just getting started with baseball activities. But he's a guy that's shown, at a high level, he can be a leverage guy that gets lefties out. And I think that would help any ball club. So for rental guys, I think the Brewers accomplished a lot. Now, I'm not in their minor league system. I'm not a Brewers fan. The question is, did they give up too much with the prospects? And I'll say it again because I see guys kind of rolling their eyes. Prospects are just that, prospects. You don't know, what they're going to be. You don't know who's going to hit. Maybe they're scratch-off lottery tickets. But the truth is, when you buy a lot of scratch-off lottery tickets, your chances are better to hit one of them. And I think the Cardinals have done a pretty good job with that.
Oh, Jim, you're such a homer. You're such a homer, Cat. You're such a homer.
What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? They're terrible. The prospects are what, AJ?
Wait, what were you going to say? The prospects. What about the prospects?
What do you want me to say? That they'll never pan out? You know what?
Yes,
you sound
clip
like?
that. Clip that.
You sound
clip
like
that.
You sound like Lance Lynn. Lance Lynn
Clip
in
that.
Cardinal Territory today tried to get me on one of those, right? And the truth is, I try to be fair about these things. Yes, I cover the Cardinals. Yeah, I'm going to admit it. I'm kind of a Cardinal fan, but I'm not afraid to criticize things when they deserve criticism. The thing is, when you're talking about dealing rental players for prospects, you don't really know what you have until it's time for the prospects to deliver on the promise. So to second guess it now seems silly. There you go, AJ. Clip that off.
Thank you. We know we clipped the right thing. The prospects are terrible. Don't worry. That'll be all over the. Wait till I send that to Hein. Man, this is your sideline reporter. So wait till I text Ollie. By the way, speaking of Ollie, how much credit does Ollie deserve this year? Not John Jay, not Daniel Descalso, not Pop Warner, not Stubby Clapp, none of those guys. How much does Ollie Marmol deserve as far as what he's done and how this team has performed?
A ton, and I'll tell you why. Because you just mentioned first all his assistants, and Ollie's a guy that wants his assistant coaches to talk to the media, to show what they do, what they're working on. And that's Ollie being kind of selfless. But here's the thing about Ollie Marmol. I've been in that clubhouse, good times, bad times, now a very young team. The players play for him, right? The players don't quit. Ollie has a unique way of, one, relating to his players, to dealing with guys in the front office, and even the media. And I love that guy. He gives me a hard time, just like Lance Lynn or AJ Pierzynski, because I never played the game. But for a little guy who walks around like he's got groceries under his arms, Ollie Marmol relates well to everybody. And yes, I did say he walks around like he has groceries under his arms. Clip that off.
That's what we do at Dr. Phillips, Jim. That's what we do at Dr. Phillips High. We're jacked and we're great, very intelligent baseball people. That's what we do.
No, you're. I gotta say, AJ, you were smart back when I first met you, when you were the rusty nail that Mozeliak was throwing into the pile, and everyone was like, "What's this guy?" And everybody loved you, and you were smart. And I'll say it again. You told me, "Hey, Jim, by the way, you're a sideline reporter. Do you know I'm still playing? And I already have 2 national Emmys. I'm better at your job, and I'm still, well, maybe it's 3 now. Back then it was 2.
Yeah, sorry.
All right,
keep adding up, Jim. You lose count after a while. You lose count after a while.
Pick up your game, would you?
Oh, man, I love you, Jim. You're the best. You're the best.
No, you are the best. You guys are great. And I hope we're, like, our producer, director, I don't know what you guys call it, George, asked me to tell you guys he's doing a great job. He is, because here's the thing. When you're dealing with professional athletes, like putting together a podcast, it's like herding cats. You know why? Because all of you are sitting on millions of dollars and don't need any of this crap, but you do it, but you're going to do it on your own time frame. You're going to do it the way you want to do it. So a lot of times we're ready to do the podcast and no one has answered if they're in or not. And we have to sit there and wait for the professional athletes to pop in so we can do the podcast. So AJ, I would say of all the guys, you, Lance, Kyle Gibson is a nicer guy. Matt Holliday, by the way, who's on sometimes, is also great. But you guys do it your way, and that's that. And for a sideline reporter, just some little fella who's hanging on for dear life in his profession, I have to deal with people like you. And for your partners up there, I know you're the rusty nail. They nod along with you a lot, which is cool because you're the big guy with the groceries and everything. But when I watch the podcast, I enjoy it because I think you guys do a great job. There, I sucked up to you.
But by the way, Jim, let me just say this for the record: I've never been late, and I'm always here when I need to be. So let's just throw that out there. I don't know who you're dealing with, but I am never late. Now I might be here at 12:58, like I was today, but I'm not late.
Listen, 59. You know who I'm dealing with, okay? And there's a little AJ, and there's a little AJ Pierzynski in every former professional athlete. That's the truth.
What's the saying about, like, if you're not early, you're late or something, you got to be X amount of minutes early, right?
First time, it's game time is on time, right? And and the other one, as my father used to tell me, if you're always early, you're never late. My family doesn't believe in that. I do. If you're always early, you're never late, and then there's no panic. Like last time I went on, I was upside down on Foul Territory. That's a national broadcast. It's a national podcast, and I'm upside down. This time, early. I was here early, ready to go. I hope you'll have me on again.
We will. We love having you on, and I love the show. It's great. The stuff that they just covered too with the trades is awesome. So make sure you check that out. I've been encouraging everyone to check out all the trade deadline episodes.
Wait, one more thing. Lance Lynn. Yes. Lance Lynn went after all the owners,
I heard
complaining about the Dodgers, and it got like 600, maybe 700,000 views. All right. Lance Lynn is instant offense. Now, he's still a former professional athlete. So getting him to do it is still like herding cats.
There it is. There's 29 billionaires bitching about another billionaire doing it better than they can do it. Lance Lynn saying other teams should take a page out of the Dodgers book. And here come the comments. We can't. They're all poor. It's not fair. You guys only like the Dodgers. Blah.
Listen, well, that's true. And for smaller market teams, investing in one guy who could blow out his arm then you're handicapped for a long, long time. So I'm not saying Lance is totally wrong, but I think in fairness, which I try to be, AJ, I think there's nuance to that. And I don't think every owner, even though the value of the team doesn't go down if they have a bad season, I get all that. I understand everything. But the truth is, cost certainty is still a very important thing for a lot of teams. Now you have a labor situation that could cause a lockout. You had basically the TV deals collapsing. So every team is making less money on that. So it's a different situation for different teams. And I think the view on that, from my perspective, has to be more nuanced. Look up that word. Look up that word, AJ.
Is it more than one syllable? What's a syllable, Jim?
What he's saying is revenue sharing is caring, but revenue sharing means spend it on your actual team and not real estate. Spend it on players.
I'm for that, but there's got to be a balance to help teams that don't have a TV deal like the Dodgers do because of a divorce many years ago and tax implications that make it freaking hilarious. Now, they did also, with Shohei, understand the value of him, because my guess is he's probably paid off his contract because he's so valuable from a fan marketing merch perspective. The Dodgers saw that, other people didn't. Other teams had a chance at that. I get all that. But still, the smaller markets just don't have the resources that a team like the Dodgers have. So again, I think the perspective on that should be more nuanced.
They don't have a village in left field either, where their old stadium used to be. All those small market. Wait a minute, they do.
No, hold on. If I hadn't been so bad, at my job, then maybe the broadcast partner, FanDuel, Bally's, whatever it was, would not have collapsed. It's kind of my fault. So that's why I'm sticking up for the Cardinals.
Jim, I'm sure you've never heard this before.
They lost $40 million, in that. So, that's a hit, and it's my fault.
No, Jim, I'm sure you've never heard this, but there's an old saying: "It's not you, it's me."
Fair enough.
You're great. The guys love you. The show's awesome. Cardinal Territory. Check it out. Good catching up, man. Thanks for hopping on.
Hey, have me on again. I enjoyed it, and you guys do a great job too. So thank you for letting us be on your platform.
Yes, thank you. We love having you. Jim Hayes. Talk soon. All right. There's the show. There's the big boys. There's Jim top left, Matt top right, Holiday, Lance Lynn bottom left, Kyle Gibson bottom right. He's got an all-star cast. It's a good one. Check it out on the FT Network, wherever you get your podcast. Type in Cardinal Territory. Little SeatGeek. We got the debuts. I'm going to keep pumping that until there are no more debuts and new uniforms. Ooh. SeatGeek tonight is a good seat, right? That's a night game. White Sox are playing this evening, AJ?
They are. Luis Castillo's
yes
debut against the Red Sox in Fenway. And by the way, the White Sox have not hit a home run against the Red Sox this year. That's a stat. That is a stat because they hit a lot of home runs. They played 5 games. They've lost all 5 against the Red Sox, and they have not hit a home run against the Red Sox this year.
Homers don't matter.
Worry, Rangers Suarez doesn't give up many either, so it might continue.
Yeah, exactly. Hold on, Ozzie's calling me.
Oh, okay, take him off. Mute him.
Hey, everybody know what I'm saying, and this is why I like it to be on your show, AJ, and it is nice.
You better use that line.
To be on the better.
I gave you that
for
quote.
Me. I have one. This is exactly what Jim was talking about. Working with professional athletes who have made millions of dollars, they just answer their phone in the middle of a show. But I have a debut. I have a debut for a team. Are you going to watch it tonight, Scott?
I don't know what the debut is.
Dustin May.
Oh yeah, of course. I'm definitely going to watch Dustin May.
That one I'm watching way more than that. Sorry, I'm not watching the Luis Castillo White Sox and Red Sox because the Red Sox right now they're a train, and I would not want to play them. So if they lose tonight, it's okay that they get swept. But Dustin May, I want to see that Sanker work. I want to see that Sanker work with the Brewers bullpen. I'm so intrigued. I mean, not bullpen, the Brewers defense.
With all my friends, we had, I think it was 150 comments when I checked late last night and I got home from my flight, and I responded to all of them. Not all of them, maybe
Nice.
85%. I got to almost all of them. So we had some good combos. We had some bad combos. We laughed, we cried, we screamed, we shouted, and we said, we'll see you tomorrow night for Dustin May. So if you want that ticket, go get it, okay? SeatGeek's the spot. If you go on the app, they're, of course, the official ticket marketplace of MLB, but also they help you with pricing. They help you with seating and where's the best spot to seat for that pricing. The code Territory10, 10% off your next set of tickets there. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. Beef. So Freddy Peralta leaves, and then all of a sudden another story comes out about him calling a meeting to try and clear the air with Soto and Lindor. It's the story that doesn't go away, but it's also a story that got absolutely shattered to pieces when Mike Puma put it out last offseason, and people were like, how dare he? He's so wrong. He was so right. He was so right. But Freddie P was trying to bring a little bit of peace here, AJ. And I know this is off the field stuff and you don't have to be best friends, and we've talked about this a lot, but Freddy Peralta bringing a meeting together makes things a little bit interesting. Jorge Castillo helping us out a little bit with this tweet. He said, on the field, his tenure was disappointing. Off it, he made a major contribution to arrange that meeting between Lindor and Juan Soto. Soto doesn't really want to talk about it, I think.
No, I love it. By the way, Dustin May is starting now. Just FYI, Kratz. The game is now. He's on right now. He's in the first inning.
I saw that after we started talking about it.
It happens. It happens to all of us. It's all good. It's all good. Scott makes bets all the time that we have to change, so it's all good. I mess up all the time.
One time all year. Okay.
It's all good. It's all good. We all make mistakes. But I love this, that Freddy Peralta was the kind of the mediator in this whole thing that, again, everyone said wasn't true. But if you talk to people around the Mets organization, now I'm not talking about people in the organization, but you talk to enough of the media people, they'll say there was something there. Now, has it improved this year? Absolutely. Was it because of Freddy Peralta? It seems like he was a piece of it. So that's good for the Mets going forward. Freddie has always been one of the best guys. He's always got a great smile. He's always happy to see you. So it does not surprise me that Freddy Peralta would be in the middle of this trying to make peace, because he just seems like a good guy who wants good vibes and wants a good clubhouse to work in.
Yeah, I'm interested why Juan Soto didn't want to comment about it. Or did he say it didn't happen? Or I'm not exactly sure what his quotes were, but they're there together for a long time. Lindor and Juan Soto need to get together. They need to get along better. In my opinion, I get it. Wins make everybody feel a lot better, but there's also a thing of like, how much does this affect winning, or how much does it affect? You just want the best out of your two best players, in my opinion.
Yeah, and in this story from Castillo, who is citing sources, and at this point we should trust the sources because many people have reported on this thing. He said the relationship's been noticeably warmer. There's more interaction between the two, but he said that there were tensions lingering heading into the second season, and that's where earlier this year Peralta set a meeting. The meeting was in June. It's not like the meeting was in like March or April. Like we're talking June, when the Mets had already collapsed too. And then I was alluding to this. I'll give you more details now. AJ, I'll give you two quotes, one from Lindor, one from Soto on the meeting. Here's Lindor first. It was more of a conversation like we always have with our group of Latinos, but I don't want to comment on the details. Okay, so they had it. Doesn't want to go over it. I respect that. Soto, quote, there was no meeting, no discussion. This year has been better. We've gotten along very well. We've learned from each other. Are they on the same page if one thinks there's a meeting and one doesn't? Or he just, I know that he doesn't want to talk about it, but denying it is a little bit interesting. Like it definitely happened. And you've got a teammate saying it happened, but then you didn't say it happened. So shouldn't you just be like, hey, let's just say it happened? Like, what are we going to say if this comes out? We say it happened. And I liked Lindor's line about it.
I think Lindor handled this perfectly. Soto I think this was an old Soto, easy way to shut this down maybe Soto talked first before Lindor. I don't know how it worked. Maybe they went to Soto first. Soto said it didn't happen, and then Lindor said it did happen. So again, I don't know all the semantics and all the little details about this. So look, they're handled it. Their relationship is better. Isn't that what Mets fans want? They want Soto and Lindor to just, can't we all just get along and just give each other a big hug? Because wasn't on opening day where when they were introduced and they barely spoke to each other at home plate, where everyone else was giving each other hugs, and it was like, hey, what's up, buddy?
It was. I forgot about that. I don't know. It just means maybe one person, it's all speculation. Maybe Juan wasn't as pleased with the conversation. Maybe he still doesn't like whatever it is about Lindor that he doesn't like. Who knows? Gives us something to talk about. Otherwise, we're not talking about the Mets because they've been out of it since second series.
Yeah, well, then is the air really clear, or is it more like the air a few weeks ago when we had the wildfire air in New York from Canada? That was some ugly air.
It's better than it was.
The air or the relationship?
Both, because I was there for New York, and it was not good air.
Okay, well, we'll see what happens. Did you see Keith Hernandez had to apologize? He was a little harsh on the trade and all the trades that were being made. You guys didn't see that? I saw it. He said, he's like, they definitely shuffled, brought in the truck, and took out all the garbage, talking about the Mets fire sale. Like, he was trying to do a little play on words, and then he had to apologize. I said, got out the garbage. Poor choice of words. Can't believe that came out of my mouth. Apologies. I mean,
I feel like he's done this a few times this year, last couple of years, where he said things and then immediately apologizes for it. Basically, he called Clay Holmes garbage, Freddy Peralta garbage. Anyone the Mets traded away is garbage. Basically what he said.
I've worked with him, and he tries to do the play on words, and he's a funny guy, and I just think he was doing that. I don't know all the context, but if he had then gone down and said, this guy was trash, then he means it. And he has done that stuff before. Not those exact words, but he has really ripped particular players. I think he was just having fun with, like, oh, it's fire sale. Yeah, we got the trash out.
Never nice.
Clay Holmes is not bad.
Player. Never nice as a player to hear your local announcer call you garbage. I don't care how he meant it. I'm sorry. It's just not something. Again, it's not something that should be said. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion. I mean, I would be super pissed if I played for the Mets and I was one of the guys who got traded. And Keith Hernandez is calling me garbage after I walked out the door. Again, I don't know how he meant it, but I don't know how there's a way he could mean it any other way, playing on words or not.
I think being on the team every day or being with a team on the radio or TV, you say things. If you never show up in the clubhouse, I think things are taken a little bit differently than if you show up in the clubhouse the next day. Whether they want to talk to you or not, you show up. And I think it's a little bit different when you're on another team. If you're Clay Holmes, you're in Chicago. Yeah, I get it. You're supposed to put behind you whatever happened in New York, but you still hear it.
Yeah. One more Mets quote, and then I want to swing it to the team that they were playing, the more relevant team right now, the Guardians. Kodai Senga told officials that he wants to start consistently, or told, Mets officials. But the quote that he gave to the media was, the team could just tell me, hey, dude, look at your stats. And I don't have anything to say back to them.
Yeah.
I respect the honesty.
That's basically what they're saying to him when they have him in the bullpen.
Mm-hmm. Okay, other side.
It's like a rap battle. When you make fun of yourself, you can't, nobody can really say anything back to you. Like, hey, you're right. Of course he wants to start. There's no starter that's like, I'd rather be in the bullpen. It's much better life in the bullpen. No.
He cares. He's been in the minors working on it. It just, he's been very straightforward now. It fell apart fast. Yeah. Did he looked good in the beginning of that contract.
Is that trick pitch?
Ghost fork.
Is it trick pitch in Citi Field? I mean, if David Stearns is listening, you find somebody with a trick pitch, some years the wind is blowing the right way. Look at what R.A. Dickey did. It's a trick pitch. It's a gimmick pitch. His fork ball thing, ghost fork, is a gimmick pitch. It worked really, really well. And I get it. He hasn't stayed healthy. It was a calf. It was a thing. It was another thing. But man, he was so nasty. He was looking like that contract was going to be a steal because he was so and he was even nastier than his season numbers at home that year. And you know what? The prevailing wind changed, whatever it is.
All right, other side. Good back and forth game they had with the Guardians. Did you guys see Angel Henao? One of the top prospects in the sport. He's a top 20 on almost every list. 4 for 4. That's a good debut.
Oh, and then he had a chance in the last inning and didn't get a hit. So Guardians are struggling right now.
Oh, right. 4
Guardians
for 5.
are struggling. Guardians are struggling right now. They're losing again today. Foster Griffin started. He didn't have a great start. So Guardians are struggling right now. The White Sox aren't playing very well, but the Guardians are playing worse. So it's making the White Sox still feel like they're in first place because they are.
I wonder if Jose Ramirez is 100% healthy. I don't, you come back from an injury, you'd think, okay, now they're gonna roll. They've actually been worse since he's been back. I'm not saying it's his fault. I'm saying, but hey, this is what the Guardians do. They call down to Columbus and they're like, who's the hottest hitter in Columbus? Call them up, and they seem to do well. They just plug guys in. Is Joe Adell going to give them 7 home runs down the rest of the season here? Like, I think the fences are a little too high for him to rob all the home runs that he robbed, but like there's value there, but is it going to be able to be enough to push this team across not just the finish line, but playoff line, and then do some damage with that bullpen in the postseason?
Yeah, there you go. 5-2 in that one. Wow, a little live update with Foster Griffin not having it in his Guardians debut, going up against Nolan McLean. Okay, let's get back to another guest. One of the stars of Bucco Territory and a sports columnist for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. He's joining us right now. Noah Hiles. Noah, great to catch up again, man. How you doing? How was the deadline for the Pirates?
It was good, and I think the Pirates. I'm doing well, and I think the Pirates had a good deadline. The results haven't necessarily been there because all they went out and did was go get bullpen pitching, and that's not the issue right now. Ironically, although it has been for them all season, the bullpen hasn't really been needed because right now they're not scoring a lot of runs, and their starting rotation isn't doing a great job either, which has allowed them to fall on this little skid. But if they ever need a bullpen, they've got a better one now.
That's fair.
Noah.
I guess that's what happens.
It is. No, so wait, they don't have a good bullpen. Their starting pitching stinks and they can't hit? That sounds like a terrible recipe to win games in baseball.
And that's why they've lost. I mean, if they lose today in Milwaukee, I think they will have lost every series since the All-Star break, aside from the first one out of the break. They took 2 of 3 in Cleveland, and then they lost 2 of 3 in New York. They lost 2 of 3 against the Cubs, then to the Diamondbacks. It's just been a really tough go for them. 3 of 4 they fell over the last weekend in Cincinnati, and now they're looking to split in a 4-gamer against the Brewers. And yeah, their offense has fallen cold. I mean, they're really, really struggling against left-handed pitching, especially yesterday with 8 straight strikeouts there. But overall, yeah, and then the starting rotation, which was supposed to be the primary strength of this team, it hasn't been horrible, but it's nowhere near good enough to get by right now, especially with the offense struggling like it is.
All right, we're just going right to it. You said starting rotation. Paul Skenes. Do you fear there is an injury? And I don't care about velocity, downtick, all that stuff. Plenty of good pitchers control their velocity and then uptick it when it needs to be. To me, when I watch, the control doesn't seem to be what it was when he was elite Paul Skenes. Now he's just really above average Paul Skenes. But what are you seeing?
No, I'm seeing the same thing, Eric. I mean, you're seeing a guy who I think is the command just isn't as sharp. The location just isn't there. And to me, that says one of 2 things. He's either injured and not telling anyone, which is a major problem. I don't anticipate that being the case because, I mean, how many players are more important to their franchise than Paul Skenes here in Pittsburgh? If there was even something remotely wrong physically, I would have to assume he'd be on the IL right now. So it leads me to believe it's probably the second thing in my mind, and that's just fatigue. I don't know if it's World Baseball Classic. I don't necessarily subscribe to that theory. Maybe it was something different he did in the offseason. But when a guy's velocity is going down, which I know isn't like the primary concern for me either, but when you pair that with his command just not being able to execute pitches on the edges of the zone, and you see his stuff kind of take a drop off after the first time through the order. He looks good on his good days through the first 3 innings, and then you look at yesterday, fourth inning is where it kind of starts to get away. I mean, he's walking more batters. He's had back-to-back starts with 4 walks. I don't know if he's ever done that in his career prior to these back-to-back games. So I think it's fatigue, probably not injury, but the only person who really knows the answer here is Paul Skenes himself.
Why wouldn't he say anything if he was injured? That's the only thing. Was he just trying to gut through it? Because, I mean, I know you guys say don't look at the velocity, but his velocity is down a significant amount. It's not 1 or 2 ticks. It's 3 or 4 ticks, which is a big deal. And I'm sorry, you and Eric just said don't look at the velocity, but that's the first indication of something not being right. And then you add in his command is down. Well, if something is bothering you, then you have to change your mechanics, which then lead to your command being off. Again, I'm not saying he's hurt, but I think the velocity is a big deal.
And everyone kind of does too, but then every time he gets asked about it, he tells anyone who will listen that it's not a big deal, that it's by design, that he's not concerned about it. And all we can do is kind of take his word for it, right? It's like, okay, well, if it's not a big deal, then why is it not higher? Like, if it's by design, then why are the rest of the pitches not as effective, right? Because theoretically, if you're trying to take your velo down to go deeper into ball games, then you should be going deeper into ball games. And he's not doing that. Then your secondary stuff should be playing off of it just as effectively. And it's just not. Like, every pitch he throws is less effective than it was last year. It's not just the fastball due to its velocity. The fastball is still his best pitch. It's just the secondary stuff, he cannot spot it. There were multiple instances yesterday in like the 4th inning. If you look, like the sweeper, that thing, he used to be able to unbutton someone's shirt with that thing, or the slider, or just so many different pitches that he has in his repertoire, and none of them are going exactly where he wants them to go right now. You pair that with the velocity, it leads to long innings, it leads to high pitch counts, and it leads to walks and mistakes, and that's how you get to, I think he's like at a 3.98 ERA, but basically a 4 ERA for a guy who entering this year had back-to-back years of a sub-2 ERA.
All right, well, this team turns it around. They make the playoffs. Is he the number 1 starter in game 1?
I think so, just because I don't see a scenario where this team makes the playoffs if Paul Skenes doesn't turn it around. I mean, we could talk about the offense struggling against left-handed pitching. We could talk about how bad the bullpen's been this year. The reality is, if you're the Pirates and Paul Skenes isn't your best player down this stretch, then you have no chance. And I know he's just one guy on a roster of 26. I know they have a lot of other talented pitchers, but he is the difference maker on this team that their opponents don't have. When Paul Skenes is at his best, how many teams that they're going to be playing from now until the end of September have someone who can match him pitch for pitch? Not many. And who knows if they're going to be pitching against him that day. So they need him to be the old Paul Skenes or something really close to it. And we really just have not seen that player this year, not since April or early May. He's had some wins. He's had some better starts. Some of them have been in July. But, I mean, you look at his last 3 wins, guys, or even the last 3 times the Pirates have won when he's on the mound. He's got tremendous run support. He's not pitching in high-stress situations. He's kind of been able to coast. And, I mean, I'm not going to take those wins away from him or those good outings away from him, but so many times prior to this year, we saw Paul Skenes keep the Pirates in a 1-0 game through 7 innings or 8 innings, or just say, get on my back. We're going to win this game. That's the player they need right now. When your offense is struggling, when your bullpen is inconsistent, even though you added at the deadline, they need their horse to be a horse. And right now, I don't know if it's reasonable to expect him to deliver anything more than 5 to 6 innings and around 3 to 4 earned runs. That's the pitcher he's been pretty much for the greater part of 3/4 of this season.
Okay, that's fair. Let's go to the offense a little bit. They spent big money on Marcell Ozuna this offseason, and he's released. Plus, he didn't really give him anything other than just a lot of outs, right? So, and then O'Hearn's on the IL. He's had a good year. Is there enough offense on this team to carry him through their struggles? I mean, Some guys have had nice years, but is there enough offense to carry them through this struggles?
I think there is as a whole. I mean, they're going to get O'Neal Cruz back here in the next couple of weeks. That'll be nice. They just got Spencer Horwitz back. I mean, against right-handed pitching, this is still a really good lineup. The problem is they've been running into a lot of lefties. And let me read off the names of the right-handed hitters on this team. Ro Flores, Justinson Garcia, Esmerlin Valdez. Those are 3 rookies right there. And then the other non-rookies are Nick Gonzalez, Jared Triolo, and Henry Davis. Only one of those players has had an above league average OPS, and that's Nick Gonzalez this year. Esmerlin Valdez had an amazing month of July, but we're starting to see him come back down to earth a little bit. They have some switch hitters, but all of those guys are much more productive hitters on the left side. And then they're really big acquisitions and just they're true difference makers. Lau, O'Hearn, Horwitz, Cruz. Those are left-handed bats, and most of those guys are not very effective against left-handed pitching. So if they can run into a string of right-handers and kind of get lucky with the way the schedule lays out, then their offense will get going. I think Cruz just coming back in general gives them more offensively. If they could stay alive until Connor Griffin can return in mid-September, then sure, they're going to be better. But, I mean, they've been banged up all year. Losing O'Hearn is tough for a multitude of reasons. The Ozuna thing killed them all year because that was the one guy that they depended on to give them some form of slug threat against the lefty, and he didn't perform. And when you don't have that one bat to look out for, you're asking guys to do things they probably just cannot do consistently against left-handed pitching, and that creates a volatile lineup whenever you face a southpaw. That's been their problem.
All right, who ends up winning the MVP of this team? If this team makes the playoffs, I already asked about the pitching. Mm-hmm. Is it Brian Reynolds? Is it Brandon Lau? Is it player X?
I would say it'd probably be Lau. I think he's just been there. He's been such a valuable acquisition. Him and O'Hearn both. They both kind of reminded me of the Russell Martin signing. The last time this team was a playoff team, they went and got that established veteran that, provides a steady presence in the clubhouse, but also backs it up on the field with production. Lau's just been so good. And O'Hearn probably would have been in this conversation too if he just didn't suffer a big injury. And they've had other guys. I thought Connor Griffin could have been in the argument for that until he got hurt. But yeah, it would probably be Lau. They need it to be Skenes, though. Like I said before, if they're going to make the playoffs, Skenes has to be their best player throughout the remainder of the season. I don't know if that can happen, but if he can find some magic and become Paul Skenes from 2025, then even if that erases all the struggles, because he's still got, 7-8 starts left, maybe something a little less than that. If they can win all of those games or go 7-1 in the remainder of those games, they're probably making the playoffs because they're winning at like a 500 rate without him or even more. So that's the key here. It really does come back to Skenes, although if you're looking at it big picture, Lau is their MVP.
Wow. Okay. Good acquisition then. Good acquisition for the Pirates. Very good acquisition in Brandon Lau. Yeah. So that's great news. I mean, we're rooting for him. We're all rooting for the Pirates, but it's just interesting that the Pirates and the Rangers had basically the same record, and the Rangers went out and bought, and all this confidence, and the Rangers went out and didn't do anything. They're like, we have no chance. One of them's in the playoffs right now. One of them isn't, and I'll let you. And the answer to that. In a playoff spot, yes. Yeah,
I mean, you look at. I think the Pirates made some nice moves. They needed right-handed pitching. I think they probably acquired the best reliever that was moved this deadline, or one of them, in Weaver. I think Yates is a good addition to that clubhouse. I think there are a lot of young guys in that bullpen who probably could use a veteran who's seen as much as Kirby Yates has and gives that perspective. And he's a better alternative than really any other right-hander that they had to choose from. And then Lake Bacher is a nice little long-term addition, a guy who can give them a little bit more length in that bullpen. So, yeah, I think they made their bullpen better, but they probably could have used a right-handed bat. They probably could have used another starter. It didn't feel like they got the investment financially that they probably should have received. While they were able to add they added 4 major league right-handers, if you include Doval into that mix, who they got a couple of days prior to the deadline. 2 of the guys they brought in had salary covered by the teams that traded them away. And Yates is on an expiring deal. He's a rental, and Bakker's pre-arb. So they were able to pretty much keep the finances even when you consider that they moved Joey Bart. That was a salary dump. Same for Jose Urquidy. And then they traded that comp pick, which was worth a couple $1,000,000. So like they kept the books even. They got the team better. But if they would have maybe added a little bit more in payroll probably and added another established rental right-handed bat to help with their lefty woes, or maybe even another starter to help cover some innings because this young rotation is clearly running out of gas, they'd probably be in a better situation heading into this final stretch.
My last one then, how's the city? Are they feeling better than they have for a while? I feel like there's a lot of PTSD. There's a lot of hurt recently from the city, or it's not even recently. It's been like 10 years now. So do you feel like they heal fast and they're like, we're good? What was the reaction just now at the deadline? Like you mentioned, I mean, it's still the same overlying theme. I get it, right? Like we can't add money at the deadline. They did add money in the offseason. Money's not everything, but it damn made a difference to get this team to relevancy. It helped a lot. And we're not asking for the world here. We're just asking for, a little bit to help the boys.
I'd say, I mean, people are disappointed. I mean, they went into the All-Star break winning 4 of their last 6, including a 3-game sweep over the Milwaukee Brewers, a team that the Pirates really just can never beat. And then they came out and took 2 or 3 from the Guards. And they had this big homestand a couple weekends ago against the Cubs and the Diamondbacks, 2 teams that were just ahead of them in the wild card standings. They had an opportunity to really build some ground, and they just didn't do anything with that. And it's been really dejecting over the last week to see them lose 3 of 4 against the Reds. I think they gained a little bit momentum in the town to see the bullpen being addressed. People were excited because the bar is so low here, man. Anytime they're even 500, people start to believe. And yeah, I mean, if they lose today, this will be the most games under 500 they've been all year. There'll be 3 games under 500. And the Steelers are in camp. And people who have played here know how this goes, or people who have lived here. It's, if they're not close to relevant, or if they're not in it, they're going to get forgotten about very quickly, and that's where this is trending right now. Now you have the Mets coming in over the weekend, and if you win today and then take a series over the Mets, you're back around 500. You're still in this thing, and I do think they have a favorable schedule down the stretch compared to what they've gone through in June and July. But it does feel like another collapse, and you saw a collapse with this team in 2011, 2012, 16, 17. 18, 19, and 24, where they're always competitive around July, and it just feels like they don't get the shot in the arm they need, or something goes wrong and they fall apart, and by mid-August, it's just kind of irrelevant baseball. And I think fans have just seen it so many times, they're worried that that's what's happening again here.
Right. That was the feeling that I got when I was just, scrolling through comments after the deadline, where it's just a lot of hesitancy. Like, okay, we're not going to go crazy and do our temper tantrum that was warranted for years, but we're also not going to be like, this is the greatest thing ever. We got the best reliever. So it's just like a very tempered run right through the next couple months. And a lot of the other teams that were bubble teams around them actually did either sell or do nothing. I mean, the Nationals sold, right? The Marlins sold. The Cardinals sold. A lot of the teams in a very similar spot, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's just we'll see what happens. I mean, they have the pieces theoretically. It's just the guys here just need to play better at this point. I mean, their hitter Reynolds needs to get going. They need to get healthier, and more than anything, like I said, the starting rotation. You have a starting rotation where every person in this rotation was a top 100 prospect at one point. All of them were first-round picks or second-round picks, high bonus players, all-stars, guys who have received a lot of recognition. It's time for them to be the best part of this team, because they just have not been the best part of this team at any point of this year.
Right. That was the part they're building right, you're least concerned about. And that's just how baseball works. All of a sudden you're like, oh, wow, this offense. And then, oh, wow, they don't have a bullpen, all that. So Noah, great recap of what's going on here. Good catching up, man. Talk to you soon. Okay.
Absolutely, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you. That's Noah Hiles. You can read his work. Of course, you can follow him, and you can listen to him on Bucco Territory. It's him. It's Platinum Key. It's Josh Harrison. They're great. The vibes, the energy. I remember listening to their first episode, and they had chemistry then. Of course, now really running it. Injuries suck, but at least we start with a positive. Aaron Judge resuming some light activity, Kratz. And the best quote that you can hear if you're a Yankees fan when he was asked if he remains confident that he'll play again this season was like kidding me? He goes, "Oh, I'll be back this season. I don't know why I wouldn't be. That was always the plan to come back sooner than later, definitely, but I never had a thought of not playing this year." And I believed that. And now I was like, I don't know when that's going to be, but it sounds like he could get back maybe in a few weeks.
That's optimistic. It really all depends on what his ramp up looks like, or even what he has been doing. He hasn't just been coming to the ballpark, sitting on the bench, high-fiving guys. Like, there's a lot that you do during this stuff that can be very meticulous, and it's a good sign that it's showing healing. It's also a great sign that as soon as Aaron Boone's quote was, as soon as he found out that it's progressing and that he's able to do some baseball activities, the next thing he saw was Aaron Judge in pinstripes and some nails on, put his cleats on, and went out to the outfield and started running around. Like, it's huge. He's chomping at the bit. He sees what the boys are doing, and he wants to get back out there. So any positive move forward here is great for the Yankees, and great to have one of the best players back on the field for baseball.
Oh, yeah. And then you add Judge back, and what does this team look like? I mean, Giancarlo should come back too. I know he could end up hitting the shelf again, but the version of this team in October could look very different. The thing I've been using lately is to say, hey, if you've got the starting pitching surplus, that can start turning into even more bullpen help, right? To me, if Judge comes back, and forget even Stanton, because you have the hitting depth even without Giancarlo to fill up your DH spot with somebody good. So even if you don't get Giancarlo, and I think you will, you like the rotation, you should like the bullpen, right?
It's okay.
I mean, okay. I think good enough, though, to win you playoff games and not feel like, oh my gosh, what are we doing? Maybe you disagree, but I think good enough. Yeah, is it the most stable? Am I feeling as good about it as the Padres? No. And then I think the lineup should be almost as good as any in baseball. I know it doesn't look good now when Judge leaves, but it's been the same story. I'm not going to fall for it. It's like what Noah Hiles just told us with the Pirates. You know that they're usually going to fade and they're going to let you down at the deadline because they couldn't find a nickel. But in this case, when Judge comes back, they're going to hit. I think Bellinger's going to hit more down the stretch. I do think Giancarlo's coming back. I liked the pickups because I think it gave them more depth. The biggest thing they probably did was Lombard up and Volpe down. I know he's got a hit, but he doesn't have to be a star, but I think that's going to give them a lot more on offense. There's a lot that they did recently to me that makes the lineup look more full on a day-to-day basis, especially for a lineup that really likes to platoon. They're going to do a lot of that with the guys that they just brought in, like Garcia and Ramos.
Feels more in place. Their lineup feels more in place. It feels like, okay, we're gonna put Caballero out in left. He hasn't played a lot of left. He's gonna be admirable. He's gonna get the ball out quick. He's gonna throw it. It's not gonna be super accurate because he doesn't play out there very much. Okay, we want to get Volpe in. It just feels more. It feels more in place. Does it feel like a fuller lineup? Yeah, obviously. You have anytime you add the potential in Elio Ramos, who was an all-star, anytime you add in the potential of damage in Luis Garcia Jr., to be able to just add some pop off the bench if they started a lefty and it was Goldie, to starting him in the lineup. Like, I just think they're going to hit the ball, but they're going to hit the ball at positions that each of those players play. It just felt like too many guys were out of position. Even when you have a Jason Dominguez playing left field where he's kind of struggled, or a Spencer Jones playing left field where he hasn't gotten a lot of time in the big leagues, but they're both center fielders. And so it was like, okay, well, Jason Dominguez struggling left. We're going to put him in center. Spencer, you play left. I haven't played there a lot. Oh, well, this is just what we got to do. Caballero's out in right. It just felt like they didn't have quite the team and the positions and the moves that they made. Now Elio Ramos is a left fielder. Luis Garcia Jr., while he should play every day, is going to play against righties, and he's going to play first base. Goldie was having an incredible year. And if you add in Judge, you have to add in Giancarlo at some point. The biggest piece, though, that will complete this team and make them, in my opinion, the best in the American League, Cody Bellinger. What he looks like when he comes back.
Yeah, which version will you get? Okay. AL East, we'll stay there for a moment. Red Sox on fire, rolling, can't lose series, all that. We're in the injury segment here. So Tristan Casas, surgery on his left wrist, arthroscopic today, the team announced. So, I mean, you're not going to see him this year. So it's another lost season for him. They've moved on, right? I mean, Tristan Casas was a first baseman. They picked up Wilson Contreras this offseason. That's working out for them. Yeah.
They knew it. It was part of their immediate moves for this season. And good for them. Tough for Tristan Casas. Now he's got to be like, I'm going to say 93% of big leaguers at some point in their career. You got to reestablish yourself. You got to prove it that you're worth being in the big leagues for whatever team it's going to be. If it's Boston, great. If it's not, there's plenty of big league teams, but you got to reprove yourself.
Yes. Next up, Joe Ryan is hurt. He sometimes has trouble in the second half. Man, he's so good when he starts the season. And Dan Hayes reported that, he's going back to Minnesota, going to get evaluated. They're calling it a lower half issue. And we can show the quotes here. So he's supposed to start on Sunday. I think that already got wiped away, right? I don't think he got IL'd yet, unless I missed it. But he's definitely in some trouble here. He was asked if it's a mechanical issue with his delivery, and he goes, quote, "That's probably part of it. I don't know what's necessarily causing that side of it." Then gets asked if you feel like he's physically capable of executing his delivery, and he said, "No, definitely not."
And injuries, undisclosed injuries, are tough to comment on. Other than I can comment on the fact that at this point in the year, if you're 100%. I'm going to go out on a limb and say you haven't really pushed the limits too hard. Just nobody's 100% is what I'm saying, especially a guy that's taking the ball every 5 days. You're dealing with something. This is a place where the Dodgers really have an advantage. They can say, Shohei, you don't need to push through this knee or bicep, whatever it is that's flaring up. And other teams don't necessarily have that. And hopefully this is something that's quick for Joe Ryan, but you're pushing through something and you try to figure it out. And that's why the best players are that much better than other players, because they're able to play through injuries and still succeed at a big league level.
Yeah, and losing Joe Ryan for any semblance of time would be trouble. Twins have lost, I believe it's 4 in a row entering today. Noah Cameron really was lights out against them last night in their loss. So we'll see if the Twins have something in them. The Reds are... they were lost in space at the trade deadline. Now they lose Hunter Greene again. Injured list for him. He's going to see Dr. Neil Elatrosh today. Discomfort in his right elbow after a side session on Tuesday. Had the MRI, so now he's going to get checked out. Not great.
Damn it. That's it. He can't, it's tough to see. It's tough to see because, yes, he was a prospect, all that stuff. To me, I felt like he turned the corner, and he really hasn't pitched this year. And it's another reason you try not to pitch through certain types of injuries, because if they're not 100% healed, other parts of your body start to break down. And you never want to see a visit to any doctor to get a second opinion, a first opinion about a pitcher's elbow.
Yeah, it's been a bad year for the Reds overall. Okay, Brewers, thriving on a nightly basis. They get Kyle Harrison back. He did have to leave his start, and everyone's like, but it's okay. It's cramping. That seems to be a thing. Mize goes through that sometimes. With the Brewers, it seems to be a thing. And apparently he said he was trying all of the remedies. Hot cinnamon stuff, he called it, and also a shot of pickle juice.
No. Hydration is a life choice. Hydration is a pre-game. You're drinking 10 bottles of water from the end of the night before game to the beginning of when you get to the park. You're drinking your electrolytes. You're having and I know for a fact, because I played for the Brewers and some of the trainers that were there are still there. They have all that out there. Now, the Mize hasn't had any cramps recently, but he was dealing with cramps. Kyle Harrison, they got to figure it out. You got to, to come out with double calf cramps. That's crazy. He has to, when you're drinking during the game, you're only just maintaining the levels that you have. Not, I had 7 bottles of water during the game. Too late. You're thirsty, it's too late.
Yep. Got to load up pregame. We'll talk more about that next week, actually. A little hydration. Okay, that's what he said. Coming up next.
Yeah, that's what he said.
That's what he said.
That's what he said.
That's what he said.
And so Kevin Gausman's full of quotes. I'm going to talk about one first, and then we'll show another one. But he kind of hinted to the team that it wouldn't be the best thing ever if he had to face his old squad right away. He obviously would have pitched, but he was just like, yeah, if you want to wait, a little bit longer. What did he say? Shai DeBeatty tweeted this today. Just caught up with Gausman in the clubhouse. He said he didn't necessarily ask his start to get pushed past the Blue Jays, but he was like, can we not? I just know it would be a lot. I just want to focus on trying to win a game. And there's a lot more pitching against him. I think I could do it. I know those hitters pretty well over their strengths, weaknesses. I think it would be a lot mentally, but he said really close to a lot of those guys and wish him nothing but the best, the whole deal there, right? So there's that. And then we also have the quote about what it's like to be at Wrigley versus where he was at. So let's run it.
Yeah, I mean, it's really fun. Obviously playing a team like the Dodgers brings the best out of everybody, which is good. It's funny, my wife is the first time she's been here, and after the first day she was here, she said it's so different than Toronto. And I was like, yeah, the focus is baseball. It's real grass, it's outside. So there's a lot of different things than what we're used to, but we're excited for all the new experiences.
What does he mean there?
What? That's my question. My question is, the first part is the focus is baseball. Are they saying?
That's what I'm asking.
Is he taking a shot at the surroundings of the game? Like the sense of are they more interested in the songs in between at bats? Are they I feel like Chicago can be a little bit of a distractible place too. A lot of celebrities going around, a lot of bleacher creatures, a lot of stuff. We just talked about the IV, but
stacking cups.
Yeah, stacking cups. There's a lot of shticks going on, but clearly Gausman felt like maybe it was a little bit less baseball centric. I would say in Toronto is how I'm taking it. The fact that it's real grass, it's outside. I'll be honest. His wife doesn't want to go there in April in Chicago, and nobody wants to play outside in April in Toronto because I remember there was still ice on the lake when I played in Toronto in April, and so I was very thankful for the roof to be closed. So I don't know. Yeah. I think it feels like it was a little bit of a shot at just what's going on, surrounding the fields.
I wish someone got a follow-up in there, and maybe they did. That was the clip that was posted all over the place. But it's not even just to cover his tracks. It's also just a legitimate follow-up. What do you mean? Give us more. Did you experience things that didn't feel like baseball versus here? Gausman, I have a hard time seeing him taking a direct shot. It almost felt indirect, where he's like, there's a lot of other stuff going on there and here, and you're like, wait, what?
and I think I mentioned it on here and got roasted. Talking about how sometimes in the locker room, you get some people that come into the locker room that never cover baseball, and they ask questions that are not at all I can tell you're not pertaining. You don't know what's going on here. And so sometimes that can be more distracting. I equated it to the playoffs where they kind of give a lot of people different microphones to come into the clubhouse, but I never felt like anything fan wise or outside of that. The Blue Jays fans, if you haven't been to a back-to-back day game with the roof open in Toronto on a weekend, they do Saturday day game, Sunday day game. Something about that energy and all that's going on, the sun shining, the batter's box turning to concrete, all that stuff. It is to me, it's an electric place to play. And I think Wrigley's probably the same. It's funny because he said his wife had never been there. I felt like every wife always went to Chicago, rarely go to the game. The shopping is tremendous in Chicago.
Chicago in the summertime in general. I mean, Toronto in the summertime. Those places know how to summer because they know how to winter.
They hustle. Winter is coming. As the Game of Thrones, winter is coming for both of those cities.
Exactly. All right, let's get to Leo. I just realized this. We didn't actually say bye to AJ. He had to slip out. What were we during a combo or something? So he just lost his parlay and slipped out of here. Classic.
I know what you're talking about.
It was me against him last night. Nats against the Phillies. It was a tight one until it wasn't. And also, can we shout out Miles Michaelis really quick before we get to our locks?
What an AB.
With the bunt to knock in a run.
What an AB. A bunt. He was taking some real borderline pitches. I wanted to see one get called a strike on him and him tap on his head. I wanted to see him argue a ball and strike.
I wish, dude. He's a fun personality. We'll try and get him back on. He also just, I think, celebrated 10 years of service, which is crazy to me that he's already been in the bigs for 10 years. I remember interviewing him at winter meetings before he signed, coming back from overseas.
Yeah, already? I mean,
it doesn't feel long ago. It was in Disney.
That's a grinded out 10 years.
Mm-hmm. Right. There's ups, there's downs, there's laughs, the whole thing. Okay. What are you doing tonight?
I'm going straight up money line, San Diego. Walker Buehler versus, is it Crank? I'm not sure who's throwing for the Diamondbacks, but I'm going to go Walker Buehler and the hot Padres taking on the Diamondbacks, and just straight up money line, -110.
It is Drake, not the rapper, but the night before it was Brat, and oof,
nasty.
I was unaware of your game, sir.
It was good afternoon, good evening, and good night. I mean, it was curveball first strike, heater, see ya. And the Diamondbacks were like, what the heck? It almost looked like a night where it was like, we can't get any minor league video on this guy. We can't get any extra video. Like, it looked like they were behind the times. They did not know what he was rolling out there.
No, and I think this year in majors and minors he hadn't gone over 5 innings, and guess what, people? He went over 5. He went 7. He was really good.
8 punches. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to take the under in the Phillies-Nats game. I'll go under. Christopher Sanchez on one side. That's usually pretty good. -118 to go under 9. And then on the other side to put 118 down to win hundo. I'll take a little Miles Michaelis energy from the night before. You know, he got his little warm-up AB. So there's not a ton of math to this. I know that Miles is, not in his prime anymore, and neither is the Nationals bullpen, but I think it'll stay under 9. That turned into quite the marathon yesterday. It ended up being a pretty long game for 2026. In 2022, we would call that a short game, but in 2026, we call it a long game.
And you don't want to take the over because of that, because the Phillies pulled out Painter in the 4th inning. I get it. Sanchez will probably go 7 and punch out 8, but we'll see. I'm interested to see what happens.
Yes. I mean, for me, no. And I know where your head's at. You're like, all right, bullpen. But I'm like, Sanchez can usually counter that, right? And eat the innings that you need, that you can still use the guys you need if you're Philly in the back end. So
I'm
you know how long that game was yesterday? I know it went 11, so 3 hours 40.
Wow. I'm parlaying it for the boys because BetMGM let me hit a single today, and I get 25% parlay bonus boost token from my swing for the fences. So thank you, BetMGM, for this FT parlay lock.
Wow. Put the board, because Kratz just did it for me. Go ahead, say it. No, not that one. The next one. Kratz literally just said what I usually say at the end.
Well, I didn't want to take your thunder.
You did. You
Yeah.
took it, and
Wait,
you did
you
it better
swing
than
for
I
the-
did. You talked about how you
Swing for the
used.
fences, your daily shot.
Yeah.
Claude doesn't even put it up for me, but you score bonuses and boost tokens. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And then say 2 words. Let's slap.
Let's slap.
Just a quick one on the way out. We spoke about the Christian Yelich story, and some Brewers fans were like, there wasn't that much booing going on. And we acknowledged that too. We weren't there, and we were just rolling the sound from Pat Murphy. What do the classy Brewers fans do the next day when Yelich comes through with an RBI dub off Paul Skenes for the first run of the game?
Standing O. Standing O.
Nice.
You knew they would. You knew they would. Like I said, my person on the inside there said it was a definite, strict minority the other night. And you know what? Boo that fan. Boo those fans, those 5 guys who had a few too many Millers that night. Like, that's not Brewers fans. Last night, that's Brewers fans. Christian Yelich is going to be a huge part of this run that the Brewers are going to make this year.
Yeah, I mean, I know you always do your New York thing where it's like, boo, you stink. Give me a baseball. Sign my bat. sign my glove. It's 5 dudes with gloves in the outfield that are above the age of 45. Yo,
it's my cousin's birthday. Give me a ball.
They don't talk like that in Milwaukee.
No, they
They
say,
don't have that accent.
hey,
They're too
over
nice.
there, Christian Yelich guy, if you don't mind giving me a ball, I'll put it in my bag, and we'll. It's going to be great. We'll go up to the Dells right afterwards. It's going to be an amazing time out here with some cheese curds.
And let me throw in a boo. That's the boo. Kratz hats, what do you got?
I mean, since we're talking about the guys, last few
Nice.
days here at the shore, how can I not wear my Milwaukee Brewers America hat? They're celebrating 250 years down here at Ocean City, New Jersey. It just feels so patriotic.
Yeah. Oh, on our way out here, actually. Yeah. Did you see Mike Kruko's retiring? That was during the show. The announcement came out. So I don't have all the info, but we love you. Sent out by the San Francisco Giants account. 35 years, I think, was the run for him.
Yeah.
Really good.
35, 36, somewhere in there. That's incredible.
A really
So
nice
he'll be-
and unique listen when you listen to Giants games. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's nice and it's different. It's peaceful, I would say, a lot of the time in the right way.
But you know it.
Like
You know it.
enthusiasm, but those two just flow.
They don't get too excited. They ride the highs pretty well and the lows pretty well.
Yeah. And they hate the Dodgers, and the Dodgers have a live show that comes up next after us with Alana, Katie, and Clint. So you can yell at them if you think that they're unfair. But they've also lost 6 in a row, so be kind. We'll see you Friday.